Hey, what's going on, people? Long time no see. Yeah, I know. Need to start getting back on here and doing my part for citizen journalist, because we definitely are getting informed of what's going on through the so-called mainstream media. I won't be on here long, but what I wanted to talk about today was back in the day, and when I say back in the day, we'll go back to 2020. There was a prediction made by this website called Deagle.com, and the prediction that it made was quite startling. It said that in the year 2025, the United States would experience a 70% reduction in the size of its population. At the time, everybody was like, wow, this is a bold prediction. What could cause that? And before you go saying, him-hawing this, let's figure out a little thing here about what Deagle is. Deagle is a private online source for the military capabilities of the world's nation states. And at the time, 5 years ago, it said it recently released a shocking 5-year forecast. And that 5-year forecast was the reduction of the U.S. population. The report analyzes countries by projected population size, GDP, defense budget, and more. And before you hem-haw or wave this off, Deagle is the description says, a look at the Deagle website, which is quite sophisticated, makes it clear we're not dealing with some blogger concocting outrageous clickbait. It seems to be well connected with defense contractors and government agencies like the CIA. They've predicted about a 70% reduction in the U.S. population and about the same percentage in Europe. They say they're going to disappear by 2025. It's hard to believe that anybody in their position would make a call like that. There's no logical business reason for it, especially since it was done before the hysteria of that last thing that we went through in the early 20s. So anyway, it says 70% reduction in the population of the U.S. and about the same percentage in Europe. And if you've been paying attention to what's going on, it might become a little more clear on what could cause that 70% reduction. I've contended that we've been in World War III for quite some time now. We just not have had that cataclysmic moment that says, oh, it's here and it's in your face. Recent events, though, seem to be leading us down that path, with Biden giving the okay to use those missiles to attack Russia, and then Putin coming out with a big surprise, launching that ICBM hypersonic missile that was not tracked, was not able to be shot down, and reached its target and blew some stuff up. So anyway, just wanted to bring that back to the forefront. As 2025 approaches, we'll see. Hopefully this thing is wrong. I tell you, I don't want it to be right. But like the website says, this is not some run-of-the-mill, kook down in the basement clicking out conspiracy theories. If you get a chance, go out and visit Deagle.com. It's spelled like eagle with a D, and take a look at what they have. They're not your run of the night kind of operation. They've got some big time stuff going on there. So anyway, make your preparations as necessary. Do what you need to do to take care of you and yours, and take a look at Deagle. Spread the word to those people who have an ear to hear. I find a lot of people that just don't want to hear this kind of information. And I was saying, a friend of mine used to say, you can keep your head buried in the sand, but that's not going to keep you from getting kicked in the behind. And that is very true these days. We get wrapped up in so much of this political, social upheaval. You got to be on the left, you got to be on the right, you got to be this, you got to be that. If you ever studied ideology called the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution, it keeps us divided. If we would come together and figure out who the real enemy is. It's not the black guy or the white guy or the transgender person or whoever. They're not real. They're not the real enemy. They may have their issues, but they're not the ones who are causing most of the turmoil that we're experiencing in the world today. And, everybody thinks that Donald Trump's going to come in and be the savior. He's made some great appointments, but here lately, he's starting to look like he's loading up the deep state again. He just hired Secretary of Treasury, I think, Soros product. And he's got a few more questionable ones in there. None of these politicians are going to do the right thing. And if they do the right thing, they won't stay in office very much longer. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to go down here. I've heard some talk that Harris might yet become president. It seems very funny that they designated Biden as unfit to run for office, but he's still fit to stay in office. So who's making the decisions back there? I can see a scenario where they move him out, and of course, she being the vice president, she becomes a president. And something happens, and they declare martial law, and that's how the ball rolls. And if you think there's no precedent for that, well, there's no precedent for that. But Gerald Ford talked about that a long time ago. Some little girl asked him, "Will there ever be a woman president?" And he said, "Yes, but I don't think she'll be elected. What'll happen is she'll be vice president, and for whatever reason, the president becomes incapacitated, and she will become president." And that's how the first woman president will come to be in this country, according to Gerald Ford. President, he's the president a few years ago. So anyway, let's see what happens here. Keep your eyes open. Pay attention. This is Movado 242 signing out. Peace.